Greetings, Starfinders. Welcome. It's Monday night, and that can mean only one thing. It's time to take off to the Pact Worlds, to Near Space, to the VampZoe universe, and do some more starfinding. Welcome in Cree, welcome in Sonata, Dundark, Vampire Child, how's it going? It's so good to see you all. Thank you for being here on this very special Monday. We are finally, after much build-up, at the infamous Rouge Saloon on Marianus 6. The crew have never set foot inside this mythical place. What will they find? What will they get up to? Will it be a quiet evening amongst friends? Will they discover any new leads on their mission here on Marianus? Who can say? And who is the mysterious special guest that I've been plugging over the last week or so? All this and more will be revealed, so don't go anywhere. And if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy this kind of stuff. It's very nice to have you here. My name's Jayven Fox. Welcome to the Secret Lab. Let's do some Monday night starfinding, shall we? Let's go! Hello, everybody. Welcome. Are we all excited? Are we all going to have a fun night out together? It's too hot, isn't it? It's too hot.
It really is.
I have to wear a lab coat. It's too much. It's too much.
Take it
You need to
off.
get the summer lab coat on.
You know what? I definitely need one that's not
Yeah.
95% polyester, that is for sure. It's
Put
not.
a
Like a
redeem
nice,
on.
a nice cotton one that's
Put a
like cut
redeem
off
on
at
for
the...
40,000
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I want to see you without a lab coat.
There you go, folks. If you want to donate to the lab to get me a summer lab coat, something a little bit more light and flowing, the tip link is will be popping up in chat. Welcome, everybody. So, when we last left you, we had you were in the queue for the Rouge Saloon. Quite a popular spot here on Marianus. It's early here. Sun is only just setting, and yet the crowds are gathered outside the, as we discovered last week, quite intimidating looking security. Some big, burly, well-armed boys at the doors. Beefcakes, indeed. This, of course, made a couple of our party maybe a little bit nervous. I don't know, because they have both popped a Nebutab apiece, the refined pharmaceutical version of the Nebula root, which is found here on Marianus, and yes, quite a distinctive feature of this planet. Of course, they're also probably keeping a close eye out. Because they currently have a very large quantity of narcotics that they have stolen from the Gaza clan, the clan that they have been sent here by Upketch of the Faurbalium to put out of business for monetary gain. So they've stolen a whole load of narcotics from the Gaza clan and are attempting to frame the Vesk Green Street gang, who are also based here on Marianus. So that is where we pick up I don't think there's anything else we need to kind of cover before we get started. So, yeah, with that, I'm going to hand it over to our lovely crew of the Rusty Mustang. You are approaching the front of the queue at current. Take it away, friends. What are you doing?
Well, Blaz just hid the stuff, right?
Blaz has attempted. He's going to attempt a sleight of hand the remaining narcotics, of which there are, I think, 2 pills. Correct?
Yeah.
You're going to attempt to sleight of hand and past security. That was the plan at the end of last week.
It was.
Okay, I'm gonna check out the other people in the queue and like see how they're dressed and stuff, and see what's going on with the patrons that we're dealing with tonight.
Okay. Give me a perception check, please. Oh,
Okay.
actually, can we make that a culture check? Let's make it a culture check.
Okay, 24.
Very good. Okay. You've not been on Marianus long, but you are well travelled, Face. So you pretty quickly gather that despite the anecdotes and jokes that you've heard from Clem about the Rouge Saloon, it is a diverse group of people in this queue. There are clearly local workers. There are also there's a very wide range of sort of social status, shall we say, on display here in the queue. There does appear to be a kind of VIP queue. It seems to be consisted of perhaps more well-moneyed, more well-connected individuals, very very smartly dressed. But it's pretty diverse. There's a wide range of races. Yeah, like I say, social status in this queue. It's clearly a happening spot, and not the clientele would not imply to you that this is the kind of grimy spit and sawdust kind of affair that you were led to believe by Clem. And there doesn't appear to be. Some people are being turned away, but it is hard to tell. It doesn't appear to be like a kind of a singular dress code that if you don't have a tie on, for instance, you're not getting in. So there is a slight Berghain vibe to this, where it's like there's just the security just kind of know who are their type of people and who are not.
Can I like try and gather who they are letting in? Can I try and get a little insight?
You can. Yes, give me. What would that be? What sort of check would that be? Do you think? What would you like to roll for that? I'll probably go with it.
Well, I mean, I would like to either.
I feel like it's cultural perception. That's my thinking.
Yeah, I'm down for culture. I'm down to roll culture again.
Give me another culture check then. Let's have it.
More than that one.
You don't know.
I got an 8.
You don't know why people are being let in or not let in, I'm afraid.
Can I try, Jay?
Yes, and you know what, actually, if anybody would like to assist on this one, you may. So if you want to roll a DC 10 culture check, everybody else, you can add up 2 to whatever Sam rolled.
Drugs aren't cool. No assistance.
I mean, I rolled an 18 without my bonus, so Sam, you get 2.
That's a plus 2.
So 14.
14, okay. You
We
should have had Clara do it.
Oh, and then a plus 2 from Ellie as well, so 16 then.
16.
Okay. In that case, yeah, you haven't cracked the code, but your impression is that there is. I mean, you've worked in, you've worked alongside personal security, so you're used to scanning a crowd, and it appears that the general criteria is a vibe check.
Oh, we're sorted then.
It definitely seems to be vibe check related.
Jay, can I ask, are the drugs beginning to kick in?
We will get to that in just a moment.
Okay.
Roll a d20.
Roll a fortitude save.
Some rolls are coming.
Guys, do we use Clem's name to get in, do you reckon?
I don't think so. He's not been here in, 20 years?
Yeah, but the
Yeah, but
owner
his-
might still
one
know
of his-
him.
One of his kids works here.
That is true.
Oh, it does. Well remembered.
Which one?
Yeah, can we
Kid
remember
number
its
5, I
name?
think.
Kid number 5.
We're here with kid number 5.
Clara just gets her
We should
little
be on the
notepad
list.
out. She's like, hang on, let me see if I wrote it down.
What's his surname? We could just say,
Fandango.
you
Clemson.
know.
No, Up did say his last name, didn't he? But I forgot what it is.
It has been uttered.
Jack, help us out.
Oh, shit, yeah.
They won't know.
Yeah. Chat
Um,
assist.
Oh,
I need to
let's see.
redeem for that chat assist.
As you are desperately trying to remember the surname of the person you've been shipping out with for the last few weeks, the queue has now started to close, and you find yourself at the front, faced by a smartly dressed but rather intimidating pair of guards. They cast you a look up and down. How are you attempting to pass the vibe check?
I'm just gonna nod and say, "Hey."
No. Hey,
Blaz,
go on.
Blaz is going to say in his poshest accent, "Good evening, gentlemen," and reach out an open hand to shake, within which is quite obviously concealed a 50 credit strip.
Ah, you're slipping them a fiddy. Okay. Everybody else, how about you? And we're going to do this sort of simultaneously.
I
race
guess
are they?
so. Huh?
What race are they? One of them is a half orc, and one of them is just a massive dude.
It's a big guy.
Okay.
Knowing that, by the way, can I just check, Blaz, which one did you palm the money to?
Oh, the giant, obviously.
The big dude, not the orc.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. Clara.
Okay, she finds it like pretty hard to relax, but she's doing her best to like seem relaxed and trying to cover up the fact that she's paranoid as fuck as being shy. So she's kind of like,
Okay, alrighty. Yeah. Clara?
Clara's doing her best mysterious private investigator smirk.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Like a little kind of mysterious smirk. I like it. Ormanganda.
Ormanganda removes his monocle, polishes it, puts it back, and looks at them and goes, "Evening, gentlemen."
Okay, so the giant dude shakes Blaz's hand, and there's a moment as he sort of detects the cred stick in between your handshake, and just gives you a little look. It slips into his pocket, and goes, "Go on through, ladies and gentlemen. You'll have to check your weapons inside the atrium, but after you." And you saunter in, no problem. You apparently got away with your little bit of sleight of hand. Perhaps the 50 cred stick may have distracted this human. And at this point, I am going to ask for a will saving throw from Sam and Connor.
15.
15 for face.
I'm
Yeah.
just looking-
Okay.
Oh no.
Go on.
No, I haven't rolled yet, but it's like, oh! 20!
It's 15 and 20. Now, I don't want you to think for 1 second that means you are sober.
Yeah, I
but
get it.
right now, you're having kind of a nice time. You're just feeling good about being on a new planet. Finally, nice to be somewhere warm. And you're just feeling kind of content. And like, you know what? It's nice to be out. You know, like, you're on mission. But it's nice to be out, just kind of seeing a new place, kicking back, having a night out with your new crew. In fact, Ormanganda, you're feeling kind of vaguely like there's a you're feeling a camaraderie that perhaps you haven't felt too deeply outside of your relationship, your bromance with Face, towards your whole crew right now. It's like, it's kind of like being back on the barracks. It's nice to be a part of a squad again, and Face, you've been struggling with the pressures of command, I know, but you know what? This this is nice. You've been looking forward to this for a while. Yes, you've got a mission, but you know what? The night's young. You've just breezed. It's always good when you're a bit nervous about getting past security on the door, and you just sail in, and there's that slight sense of relief, and you really feel that right now.
I'm just vibing on the colours.
Well, that brings us to what you see before you. You've entered a tall atrium. There are ornate gold-leafed pillars with ornate sculpting creeping around them, extending up into this tall entranceway. It is very lush and grand. There is a thick velour carpet across the floor, and people look very pleased to be here. You see a few hatches, you see a few greeters milling around, varying different races, and you hear the distant, just a gentle throb of heavy bass music coming from somewhere within. There is a grand staircase leading upstairs, and a large set of double doors, again embossed in gold, ahead of you, in between these two serpentine staircases that lead up into the pretty towering Rouge Saloon. You're surprised. It's a pretty classy joint, from what you can tell so far. The greeters, male, female, and everything in between, are elegantly and provocatively dressed, and yet they slide around the space with a preternatural grace. These are not the... It is a higher class of staff than you expected, and a higher class of clientele. As you start to kind of just take it in, a very elegant Kasathan female sachets over to you, and you notice something that obviously she's wearing the traditional face mask that you would expect every Kasathan you've ever met to have worn. But there is something different about this. Actually, even under the sort of dim, sultry lights of this venue, you notice it's kind of almost like a lace gauze, and you actually can just about make out some of the lower face features of the Kasathan, something that outside of hollow textbooks you have never seen before. Would be considered incredibly risque anywhere where you find large concentrations of Kasathans, and yet she does have like an elegance. It's not smutty, it's classily done. And she comes over to you and goes, I'm going to have to ask you to check your weapons, if that's okay. And she points you over in the direction of a hatch. They will, of course, take your cloaks, your coats. You won't need them inside. And she gestures over to a hatch being staffed by another small Brunari.
Laz desperately tries to make it obvious that his lenses are not pointing at her lips. You know, like if you're with someone who's out breastfeeding and you're like, no, I'm going to make it obvious that I'm not looking at you while you're doing that.
Gotcha, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bit of awkwardness.
Walks over to the desk.
Respectful awkwardness.
I turn around to Blaz and I like nudge him with my elbow and say, maybe we should bring Osha here next time.
Oh my god.
Blaz?
Ormungandr nudges face in the ribs and goes, "She doesn't have the eggs to spare."
Oh, true. Yeah, true. Shame about that egg situation.
As you...
She gives Blaz a just reassuring and sympathetic pat on the shoulder.
If you boys are done talking about the female form, I found the part in Clem's notes, in my notes, where I wrote down Clem's last name. It's Kib.
Ib.
Can't find the name of the child that works here, though. I only wrote down that Whiskers is also a private investigator. Sorry about that.
Nice work, detective.
Tried my best.
Very impressed.
So you are gestured over to this hatch, and as you approach, the small Brunari goes, please, your weapons. This is also where you will be, as you can see from other people who've done this, this is where you'll be kind of checking in. You'll be paying your entrance fee, relinquishing your coats and weapons and so on.
Okay, I'm just gonna slide my axe onto the thing. That's all I've got on me.
Okay. She graciously takes it very gently and places it in a large locked weapon store towards the back of her cubby, I guess you could say. May I take your coat? And can I ask, actually, Face, are you wearing anything that would identify you as Skyfire Legion at the moment?
No. So what did I describe my look as last week?
Smart
You know,
cash.
like- yeah, smart cash. So basically, I've just got like a purple jacket with like gold trim, you know,
Nice.
and some nice because I have like dragon feet, obviously. Like I don't usually wear full length trousers, so I've got like the baggy like 3/4 length. You know, they're like cut off at the knee, and they like droop down a bit over that, and then so it's got like a nice white pair of those on, and a gold belt.
Nice.
Like knickerbockers.
I was thinking like a smart jort.
A smart jort.
Yeah, like
No,
the
it's
jort
more
from
like,
Del Monte.
I was thinking like cut off trackies.
More like Indian sort of style.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Kind of a linen
Yeah.
flowing thing.
Like yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Or
Cool.
18th century breeches.
Are you going to are you relinquishing your coat? Are you going to like take it down a layer?
Yeah, I will take it down a layer. Underneath, I've just got sort of like a lilac sort of roby shirt on.
Nice. You're fitting in pretty well. You know, that kind of laid back but smartened up. You know, kind of just light, casual flowing. It's good. Okay. She takes it and she goes. The door charge is 10 credits. Merely 10 credits.
I blip her 10 credits.
Lovely. As you do, she goes, and this is for you. And she hands you a small bracelet-type device. She says, please attach this round your wrist. It will allow you to enter the saloon.
Thanks. Taking your guns.
Anybody else? Everybody else obviously needs to pay the door charge, relinquish any upper layers you want to relinquish. You do notice it is quite warm even in the entrance hall.
Yeah, I don't want to get shit spilt on my new coat.
That's fair. Okay.
I'll hand over my pistols, but first to the lady, and then remove my retractable spike, and I'm dressed exactly the same as Face, but with the colours reversed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a 70s disco act. Okay, great. And that'll be 10 credits for you as well. And you were also supplied with one of these bracelets.
Okay, so I remove my sniper rifle, kind of carefully, put it down carefully, and relinquish my pistol as well. But I'd like to keep hold of my knife. If I can hide it.
Your knife, does it have the conceal property? If you want to check that while we check everyone else in, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, you are going to have to give me a check on that. And it is going to be a...
As long as it's not culture.
No, it's going to be a sleight of hand check.
Okay, so no. 30.
30? Yeah,
Sleight of hand is plus 11.
Yeah, you've no one's taken that knife off. Yeah, damn. Unless they've got cavity surgeons in the next room, you're keeping that knife by the looks of it. Right, okay. Coffee up your 10, and you also get a bracelet handed over to you. Blaz.
Can I really
sorry.
quickly,
Yes.
with the bracelet, could I just really quickly do a sense motive check? Because I'm really suspicious about what this bracelet is. I don't like it. I don't like having to wear it.
You can, yeah. You can do one.
Yeah, I just wanna get a feel for if I can. So I only got a 17.
Okay. You're not picking up
really?
any. You're not picking up any ill intent from the cloakroom,
Okay.
Bernari. No.
Okay. Thank you,
Blas.
sorry.
You're very welcome.
Blas kind of removes his top layer of the reconfigurable clothing, which is the general purpose robe, and hands that over. And underneath, he's dressed in slim fitted but flowing robes of a neutral palette colour. It's not designed to stand out in gold and purple, more to kind of blend into things.
Great.
Hey, Dragon's all about the opulence.
He's gonna say no weapons tonight and just slide 2 10-credit sticks over. Say that one's for you.
You're going to have to actually give me a slight hand check. What are you trying? In fact, what are you trying to conceal right now? Have you got? Because any weapons that are visible, unless they have the conceal property, this will not work.
So it is the stun staff. Hang on. Conceal.
Are you using it as a walking
Proficiency.
stick?
Is he doing a
because
Gandalf?
In its I am trying to do a Gandalf again. This is the second time I've tried it this campaign. Because the flavor text says their streamlined appearance means they don't attract much attention at formal events. Where would I see
It would be
its,
under the special properties. So you've got like it's crit. What happens on its crit effects and things like that. There will be a keyword that says conceal.
I do not have conceal.
You can give me a deception check. Do I mean deception? I do mean deception, don't I? Is it a deception check?
Bluff.
Bluff. Thank you. Yes, bluff. Give me a bluff check.
Oh, that's a 16.
She goes, "Oh well, I very much appreciate the tip, sir. It's very kind." And she takes the 10 that you've paid for your entrance and slips the 10. She gives you a graceful little bow, but then she goes, "However, I am afraid I am going to have to ask you to relinquish your staff. We allow no weapons in the Rouge Saloon. It is merely for yours and everyone else's safety."
Wouldn't rob an old man of his walking stick, surely.
Sir, you are so clearly youthful. You have nothing to fear here. I'm afraid if you won't relinquish your staff, I can't allow you to enter. I'm terribly sorry.
Very flattered by her reference to his blatant youth. Blas places the staff on the desk in front of her and says, "Very well, thank you."
You're most welcome. And she stashes it away and passes you your bracelet. Who has anybody put the bracelets on yet? Now we've got you all checked in and paid up.
Yeah, mine's on. Yeah.
Okay. As you put them around your wrist, they immediately kind of and just shape to your wrist. They're not tight, but they close up to the point where they will stay on. You feel a slight clicking engage, and if you did attempt to kind of remove them, you'll realise that they are locked. They are on, and a small green light is engaged on the bracelet.
Does it say anything?
Nope. I mean, it's got Rouge Saloon branding on it. It's quite a nice looking
I don't
bracelet.
like
It's a smart looking bracelet, but yes, it has it self clicks in and engages.
Blas
I
is
don't like
just
the
gonna
feeling of this, guys.
Blas is just gonna point to his wrist and say, sorry, first time we've been here. Someone sent us, but I'll ask that in a second. What do these do?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't realise it was your first visit here to the saloon. Well, I don't know whether you've ever come across safe bands before. Are you familiar with the technology at all?
We visited a place called Madame Dragones. That may have had something similar.
Well, it is common practice in institutions such as ours to automate the consent process to leave no stone unturned, leave no person unprotected. It's merely polite in a setting such as this. However, I will point out to you, if this is the first time you've been here, they will remain on your person until you check out at the end of the evening. They are part of our security measures here for the protection of our staff and our clientele. They will, however, allow you to operate a cashless system here within the Rouge Saloon. You may use them to engage in purchases across our many levels of entertainment. If you would wish to open a credit account with us, you may of course do that. However, we will require a personal note to vouch for your credibility, shall we say. Please take no offence. Of course, it is merely a simple business matter.
Absolutely no offence taken, and more than happy to set up a credit facility. In fact, the entire party could probably use such a facility. We're here on behalf of a benefactor who will probably reimburse those costs. What do you think, guys?
She just kind of like, whatever.
I think that if you do that, it was your idea, and I had nothing to do with the decision-making process.
Yeah,
That's what
I
think.
don't want to get slapped in the face by Otto, but you go ahead.
If it goes wrong, we all blame Blaz.
I think there's a lot we could get away with as legitimate business expenses.
Well, you've known Aldous longer than the rest of us.
Hence the exasperated just, yeah, it'll be fine.
What it is?
Well, can I ask? May I see your credentials?
As
Don't we still have our
Yeah.
cards?
We have
From Creonis.
I'm trying to think of it. Our bill of operations, our bill of safe passage, our
A letter of marque. No, wait.
yeah, that's what I wanted to say,
Yeah.
but I know it's not.
Okay, so you transmit this to her, the naming Aldous in this.
With a flourish.
Okay, it flashes upon her computer. She goes, "Thank you, sir. This will just take a moment."
This is either going to be really cool or
credit
make
has been declined.
She kind of slowly, her eyes, you see her eyes slightly widen, and she's like, "Oh, well, yeah, of course. May I ask, what you would like to set your credit limit at this evening?"
Well, how much is a private booth?
Well, perhaps the best thing to do is, in fact, as soon as we have this set up, I will fix you up with one of our hosts personally. They will take care of you and give you a guided tour of the facility if you wish.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Cool, Blaz.
Should I start you off at, say, 5,000 a head?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sure.
Why the hell not?
Of course.
We are so fucked next time we see Aldous. We're so fucked.
Listen, we've been through a lot. We deserve
Yeah.
it. Out of character, we fucking
Yeah, I see what you
deserve
mean.
it.
Okay.
Chaotic Zoe is chaotic.
She types on her little tech station here, and you just feel the wristband just sort of vibrate in the affirmative, and she's like, "Hey, your credit has been applied. Please, for now, I will find one of our hosts who is free for you this evening, and please head through to the main room and make yourselves at home. And welcome to the Rouge Saloon. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to talk to any of our staff. We will we will take care of you, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Could you pass along a message to another staff member for us?
Of course, of course. Which staff member would you like me to pass the message on to?
We have a message for the sibling of Whiskers Kip.
I'm afraid I don't know any Kibs. Do you have any more information? Perhaps another name?
I don't think so.
Their parents' names are Clem and Yala.
Clem and Yala Kib.
I'm terribly sorry. This is most embarrassing. I'm afraid I don't know to whom you're referring. I can
They haven't
ask.
been here in a while, so it's fine. We'll,
Is there anyone that has been here for worked here for a long time that might know some older customers?
Well, some of our more senior hosts have been here for many years. We have many staff here, but perhaps the senior hosts or perhaps even the proprietor might be able to help you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And she just sort of gives a little dipping of the head, very respectful, and
Bad. We held the queue up so long then.
there are multiple of these booths, and they don't seem to mind. Her reaction would lead you to believe that perhaps you are something
Fucking
considered
whales.
perhaps something of a big deal. Who knows?
Let's go get shit faced.
What do you mean get? I'm already there.
just before we go, can I just ask the person who's the name? What's the name of the proprietor? Out of interest.
Miss Veyran.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. And yeah, you are free to enter the Rouge Saloon. Where are you headed?
I'm gonna go in, ready to strike the pose that we all practiced.
Yeah, totally.
The group pose.
When did we do that?
It was on the ship.
When we
remember?
came on.
Yeah.
And we landed, and it went terribly, terribly wrong.
Yeah.
No, but this time there's drugs involved.
Exactly. So it's gonna be better.
God.
Okay then. So you're going through the double doors.
Double doors.
Through the double doors. Okay then, folks. As you enter, I would like a straight charisma check from all five of you. And I am going to give Ormagander of Face a +1 to this because they've loosened up.
diplomacy?
They're feeling the vibes of this place.
Just a diplomacy check, yeah.
No, a straight charisma check.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Oh god.
Ooh,
Uh,
nat 20.
What's charisma?
I got a 20,
Where
but
is this?
not a
I
nat.
also
Dirty
got a
20 from
20.
I also got a 20.
No, what?
Not natural. We got dirty 20.
Yeah, I got
Sam,
a
you
nat
can't let the
20, we
side
got
down
dirty
now.
20s.
You can't let the side
Nat
down
20.
now.
My charisma's terrible. I still got an Ormagander.
You got 17.
17.
Ah,
No way that just happened.
We
No
are
way
fucking
everyone got
fucking
20s
up.
and then you got
We
an
are, like-
Ormagander did. That is insane. Which, of course, with the +1 is going to give you an
obviously,
18
guys.
as well. Guys,
Nobody walks into a brothel
This.
cooler
No.
than us.
So
Yeah.
mine's 17 because my charisma is -1.
so you got a modified then
Wait, so you rolled the
demodified
same as
Ormagander.
me?
Yeah.
You rolled the same as me. I got an 18.
Hi, Dormy.
You rolled an 18.
Wild stuff. Wild.
Hell yeah.
Well, in that case, guys, the doors open to a large.
Brothels are our element, dude.
Apparently so.
Obviously.
Breezing
We're
past
missing where we should
security.
have taken the story, isn't it? Are we? Because become
It's-
brothel owners.
Considering what our conversations before and after stream, are we surprised?
So,
What do you think that means?
So as you open the double doors, I will let you describe your own entrance, but would you like me to describe to you what you see so you can pitch your entrance appropriately?
Paint the picture for us.
So this first room you reach is a large. It's as though every surface in this room is padded. The best way I can describe the vibe and decor of this building, of this place, is as if you took a Great Gatsby party, you took the Moulin Rouge, you took a Wild West bordello, you took a Victorian opium den, you took a what's it called? Like a sort of Middle Eastern Moroccan kind of shisha hookah bar, and a cutting-edge cyberpunk Blade Runner kind of club bar, and you jammed all of that into a mixer and just whizzed it up into this like neon lit but sort of warm, smoky, chaise longue kind of decadent smoothie of sexy goodness.
Are all the neons like red?
There are many of these. I'm going to chuck up some of the images. Chat will have seen some of these last week, but to give you an idea, here is some mood board imagery of the kind of vibe of this place. And I will cycle through a couple of these, so just bear with me. So, you've got like in the interior, you've got this kind of there are scantily clad aliens and humans of all types, sizes, and there are some sights. People are lounging around with transparent face masks, taking thick gulps of the nebula root smoke that you've stumbled across in the city square. There are beautiful dancers, again of all different races and genders, on platforms stretched out on long, comfortable-looking sofas. There are ornate, strange chandeliers and padded stools dotted around, thick rugs, more velour everywhere you look. There are several bars dotted around, and in here the mood is it's very relaxed. It's kind of ease you into the vibe. But yes, people are sort of draped everywhere, and there is a thick but not unpleasant smell in the air. It's kind of it's perfumed. It has the earthy hints of the nebula root. However, it feels a little bit more filtered than when you came across it in the square. Perhaps a little bit more refined, less foggy, and more sort of wispy. We appear to have lost a camera. There we go, coming back. Everybody seems to be having a great time. It's quite chilled and lethargic and laid back in here. There's giggling and laughter, and you can straight away tell. You see people beeping bracelets at bars with the staff. It's clearly quite no small amount of money is changing hands in this opening space. And as you look up, this picture is probably the best to represent this. As you look up, there are multiple balconies and levels looking out. You see people strolling the balconies above you. It extends right up into the heart of the building. This is kind of like the chill out heart of the Rouge Saloon, and wisps of thick smoke are wafting up this kind of open space extending up the centre of the building. There are tinted windows and staff and party-goers hanging over the balcony with ornate glasses, slugging back drinks and just generally having a good time. And you are here, so tell me, as you throw open the doors to this tableau, I'm going to start with Blaz, because he did get the nat 20. Give me your best entrance, please, Blaz.
I'm going to take some liberties with your world. To the music and the level of the general chatter as we make our entrance. And Blaz is right in the center of the doors as they open into the room and strolling through, eyes forward. the music comes to an end, and the general level of chatter declines, and everyone kind of glances round as the doors are flung wide, and the array of our different figures striding through the doors is backlit by a reflection from the outer foyer area, and you get a distinct as it sweeps through the crowd. There's questioning recognition that people are here, and these people matter.
Okay. With a nat 20, you earned that. Right, everybody else then, Ormaganda.
Okay, well, before we go through the doors, I've been sort of like, letting some smoke out my nose, filling the area with a little bit of smoke, and then as the doors open, like I just come through, my face comes through the smoke, everyone looks at us like Blaz said, and I just like wink and finger guns, and then pose.
Love it. Love it. Clara?
As Clara, like, sweepily steps through the smoke with everyone else, she, like, shakes her hair and swishes her tail to make, like, little wispy waves in the smoke.
Nice! Nice.
And just kind of looks around like, yeah, so what? I've been here before.
Playing it cool, Trig. Love it. She.
So I stand as tall and upright as possible, shove my hand in my pockets, stomp forward in my boots, and just look around with the most intimidating and scary look as I can possibly give the room.
Matching the vibe perfectly as ever. And Ormaganda.
Yeah, I mean, Ormaganda sort of unselfconsciously just gives the room sort of once over. He oozes command presence. If anything, he's more like she in that it's oozing command presence and the kind of feeling of everyone across the room that this guy could murder them if he wanted to.
Just like hands on your hips, just like looking, surveying.
Yeah, casts an eye over it as he would if he was looking at a battlefield and working out what his tactics would be.
Exactly. I'm like exactly with you on that.
And then he just, and then he claw bumps she.
Your entrance has the desired effect, I would wager. Immediately, two of the serving staff, a very, I'll say it, hot male half-elf, stripped to the waist, strolls over to you with a large silver tray with ornate drinks on top, and sort of presents them to you, to all of you. Sirs, madam, a beverage. And they're gently bubbling away, kind of almost like shimmering layers of colour bubbling up through these rather stellar-looking cocktails. And hot on his heels, almost like an old-time Death Stick girl. I would suggest potentially this is a Yosoki, but beautifully groomed and very well turned out. She's only small, but she, perhaps with a heightened sense of smell, picks up the scent of death sticks on Ormaganda and immediately presents an ornate golden box of death sticks. Death sticks, sir, to Ormaganda and anybody else who wants one. And you can already see one of the bubbler attendants eyeing you up and kind of preparing their station. You've made an impression, and the staff are at full attention.
Do any of these drinks have like a mist rolling off them?
They all have a mist rolling off them. That kind of
Yeah,
nice.
they got like a heavy mist, sort of like just rolling off and down onto. Yeah, I'm gonna take one of those. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah,
and I'll have a death stick as well. Yeah.
You had me at colourful drinks. Sounds
Jay.
gay. I'm in.
I'll follow suit. Ormaganda sort of looks at this half elf, and he can't. He's slightly confused, and then he like looks at Blaz, and then he looks at the half elf again, and he's like, "I think this one's prettier than the other one. Probably has more eggs too."
Oh boy.
The half elf looks slightly confused because you're too kind, sir, and gestures to his drinks.
Thank you.
She's gonna pass completely. Just sort of step away and
No
try and
drinks, no death sticks for
not
Ellie.
take anything. Nope.
No, that's this for you.
I want
Blaz.
drink,
No,
and I want to
me.
head towards the shisha.
God, yes.
Blaz will take a steamy, bubbly, fun drink and kind of wave Ormangander away. Just so, fuck off. And so, yeah, you kind of like an apologizing, what are you gonna do? Look to the staff. Say thank you.
Nice. So you take your misting drinks and death sticks where appropriate. Obviously, the small Yusoki it's kind of comical because she has to stretch right up to like your death stick for your face, so you have to crane right down your magnificent wings, arcing up behind you to get a light from this small Yusoki, and you start kind of perusing the room, maybe looking somewhere to post up. Yes.
I would like to find the sort of nicest, softest looking like bench with a table, like a booth sort of area to sit at. Maybe somewhere with some curtains around.
You are in luck. I know Clara was eyeing up the bubbler that was being packed ready with some finest Marianas Nebula root, and it is stationed at a small crescent-shaped table at a gloriously appointed booth over in one of the far corners of the room. There is heavy draping everywhere, and a large series of ornate pipes lead out from this central contraption, and there is more than enough room for all five of you, including your impressive frame face, to just stretch out, get comfortable, and sort of take in the sights of this place with your fancy drinks. As you approach and I'm presuming that's where you head.
Yeah, I'm just gonna flop down on the softest surface possible.
As you do, the attendant of this particular bubbler goes, "May I fit you with masks?"
Not right now. I'm good for now. Anyone else?
Yeah, I want to get on it.
Okay. Anyone else?
Pills, no. Shisha, yes.
Stick with my
Yeah, Ormangander will give it a try. Well, he downs his drink,
Straight away.
ends his death stick by inhaling the whole lot, and then
Like in a cartoon.
Doing a Hades from Hercules. Just
yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
James, mask for you?
No, I'm going to stick with my drink.
Okay. Literally, as soon as Sam finishes his drink, a different...
I'll go for a mask.
You'll go for a mask. Lovely. Okay.
I'm counting my
Why
drink
not?
first as well.
I want to blend in a little bit.
Okay. You make as you're making yourselves comfortable, as you're sitting down, and as the nebula attendant, the bubbler attendant, is kind of tuning these actually quite like nice woven masks. They clearly have some sort of plastic liner, but they're quite glamorous. It's almost like a kind of an inverted masquerade ball style. There's kind of intricate lacing patterns and stuff over the top. As he's sort of picking out appropriate sizes for your various orifices, literally as soon as your drinks are emptied, and that is, what do we say? Sam downed his, Zoe's basically downed hers. A different half-naked male, gorgeous, guy appears out of nowhere with another tray of drinks, offering you another round. It's very much like you're getting bottomless coffee vibes from this place. May I top off your drink?
Clever.
Lovely. Okay.
Why don't we just take the tray and then we'll have some extra drinks for when we down our drinks?
Certainly.
Is that all right?
Of course. Anything you want. And down goes the tray, and there are 5 drinks, 1 for each of you. Ready to rock. In this time, the bubbler attendant has gone, I believe these will be a marvellous fit for you all, and starts handing them out. Is this your first time here in the Rouge Saloon? Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
you were nodding.
it
I wasn't
is.
looking at the screen. Okay. Now, do you have any preferences as to your nebula route? We have a variety of strains. Do you like a more hearty pull, or something perhaps more light and airy for this time of the evening?
Oh, we're not really sure. There was a lizard in town earlier. He sold us some really good stuff. So whatever the lizards are smoking, because they're selling the good stuff right now.
Well, I would like to think that what we stock here is a cut above what you might find on the streets of Marianus, but certainly, sir, if you prefer a heartier pull at this early hour, then I am only most happy to oblige. And he starts tweaking various valves. He starts tweaking. If you prefer a lighter consumption, madam, of course I can adjust accordingly. And he tweaks various little valves to your own personal tastes. But he gives James a good old crank up. Clara, he just like beautifully tweaks. So you just get more of just a light vapor, whereas Blaz, you will discover when you take your like first deep breath in, it's like breathing liquid.
Considering she's already an empath, I don't want her to have a bad trip and just start feeling every emotion of everyone in the room.
Well,
No, I'm going to stick with
I
light and airy, like
however,
Clara.
I am
Same reasons.
I am unfortunately going to require a will saving throw from you at this point, Clara.
That's fine. Oh, that was so
Sam.
nearly a 19. That's rude. Maths is hard. So is reading. There it is. That's 16.
16. Okay. Can you also give me give me a physical science check?
Okay. 20.
As you take a little pull on this mask, you're like, this is nice, and you very quickly start to feel like a gentle relaxant effect. But you kind of notice something in the smell, the taste of this smoke. You're like, this is familiar, and you realise, that pastry I ate earlier. You're like, now that I've like slept in this mask, I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I was like, that was that kind of earthy flavour that I picked up on in that pastry. I mean, it was really good, but yeah, now you're starting to go, I think that was a root pastry.
Clara's just gonna take
bad
out.
person.
Clara's just gonna take out her notepad and write down, "Get more pastries from Nice Bakery."
You do have 5 more.
No.
You got 5.
You got a whole bag of those
Clara.
things.
It's not gonna be enough. She has some
Banana
emotional
bacon.
processing to do. What better to do than fucking like spiked
Pastries.
pastries?
As you guys settle in, I will at some point be requiring more will saving throws from you, obviously, as you consume more of this nebula. I probably need one from James right now, actually, because you
All right,
did go
then.
heavy and hard.
Blaz sits down his drink and takes a takes a manly hit.
Yeah.
On fine. Will saving throw.
Yes, please.
Where's Will? There it is. That's a 19.
Okay. You take it well. You take it well. I mean, it's beautifully delivered. It's very well. You know, they know what they're doing here. This ain't no street rubbish, and it's a sophisticated joint in this place.
I feel like I've been standing all my life, and I just sat down.
You kind of nailed the vibe there, yeah. As you guys settle in, you notice in one of the booths opposite, behind a small rope, perhaps a VIP area, perhaps just a quieter corner, you notice 3 pretty burly Vesk. They seem to be having a good time, but you don't know for sure, but maybe you recognize one of them from those groups of Vesk that were walking around in the southwest quarter earlier. If you had to bet money on it, you would suspect them as being Green Street Gang associated.
Can I tell if they're as burly, less burly, or more burly than Ormanganda?
Yeah, no check required on this one. I mean, they're all kind of Ormanganda size, at least.
Okay, all right.
They're pretty hench.
Okay.
And they look grizzled.
I'm gonna tap Ormanganda and, hey, look at those guys, the big burly Vesk over there. Might need to keep an eye on those guys.
Are they wearing are they wearing any gang colours or anything, Jay, or anything that
No
I
gang colours.
recognise?
They're relatively they like everybody else have kind of dressed for the occasion. They're relatively smartly dressed. But you know, like there's even through the sort of nicely presented threads, there's a degree of roughness that comes off them that even a nice shirt can't disguise totally.
Kind of like when you put like some of the UFC fighters in a suit.
Precisely. Thoughts? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a sip of my drink. Be like, well, guys, we're at the Rouge Saloon. We can't, obviously, you know, I would like to sit down in this very comfy booth all night, but we got to check the whole place out, surely. I mean, we've got someone coming to give us a tour, right?
That's what I thought.
the lady at the desk said.
And not to forget, we do have a job to do.
Don't we
Orman-
deserve to just relax for a minute?
See, this is what I do. I just relax as much as possible in 10 minutes. And then when it's time to go, I'm ready because I've relaxed hard. I relax hard, I fight hard.
Yeah.
She's just like, at this point, and just takes a big vape of whatever the stuff that Clara. I have a mask. Whatever the level of stuff Clara was smoking.
Oh, you're going for a
She
light and
kind of gives
wispy.
up at this point.
You're going for a light
Yeah.
and wispy. Okay, no problem.
Just like fuck it at this point.
Excellent. Okay. As you are settling back, sort of hopefully, you know, maybe awaiting a host, you know, rather than, you know, making the most of this moment, just taking in the surroundings. One of the Vesk from the booth opposite is making their way over towards one of the bars, it appears. And as they walk past your booth, they catch sight of Ormanganda. Now, you've reconfigured your clothing, correct? So this, I know you'd gone badgeless, so we didn't know your regiment, but are you essentially no longer recognisable as a member of the Vesk infantry? Or the Vesk,
we're
the
dressed
Vesk
the
army?
same.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and the other thing I've made sure is that shout out to some film fans here. Ormanganda has a tattoo here of a 2 and a 7, which is also concealed.
Okay, you put the bracelet over it.
Yeah, there's it's a hand in the Vesk equivalent of poker.
Cool.
Hey, nobody's going to get that reference.
Did you?
Come on.
If you got it, then some people will.
As we as they make their way past your booth, this large, tough-looking Vesk catches sight of Ormanganda and kind of, in no uncertain terms, kind of just clocks you, looks you up and down, and just sort of shoots you a little kind of, and carries on strolling. Gives you a little subtle hiss, a little territorial display.
Ormanganda Iceman's in back.
You try, but your usual Iceman-y kind of ice cold. Maybe you're not sure. Is it just in your head? Did it actually come across that way? It felt a bit woolly. It didn't feel as sharp as your usual jaw snap, and you're wrestling with it a little bit internally, going, that didn't have my usual snap. But no one else can confirm or deny this. Nobody knows this internal struggle that's going on with you. But you just, as soon as you do it, you almost kind of like retreat from it a little bit, like you've kind of fucked it up a little bit. That you're just having a little moment of like, what's happened to my Iceman snap? But of course, this all goes on internally.
Oh man.
Buzz leans over and is like, I think that one wants your eggs.
No, it did seem like that, honestly. You might be in there.
No. That's clearly a male. Vesk females are much, much bigger than that.
Guys, we are going to take our break a couple of minutes early today because when we come back, I think it might be time to introduce our special guest for the evening. So go away, everybody. Top off your misty, foaming, effervescent rainbow cocktails. Strap on a woven bubbler mask. Sink a death stick or two. Chuck a few horrible tabs down yourself, and we'll be back for... don't do any of those things. We'll be back straight after these messages. Of course, if you want to avoid these horrible messages and listen to some nice spacey tunes instead, maybe consider subscribing. And you know what? We've got Dundalk in the house. You're probably all already subscribed, like it or not. So perhaps with this spare time, you could consider popping over to VampZoe's stream or OverlordFace's stream or the Uncanny Crafters soon-to-be stream and chuck them a follow and some love as well. Maybe even check out their Discords and all that sort of good stuff because they're awesome. We're going to take a few minutes. I am going to very quickly quaff 1, 2... Jesus. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm going to do 5 test tubes. Hang on. Oh...
God.
It's almost like you're with us in the Rouge Saloon, Jay.
When in Rome, baby. When in Rouge. Do like the Rougers do.
I genuinely almost said when in Rouge earlier.
When in Rouge.
When in Rouge! Yes!
That's a keeper, folks.
I love it.
New merch coming soon. We'll be right back in a few minutes with our extra special, super secret, top secret guest. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment. Okay, folks, I'm just going to be setting something up here in the background for a second. Hope you had a nice break. Thank you for staying with us. I am going to ask everybody, because it's been a little minute. It's been, I would say, like maybe 15 minutes or so since we left you. You've just been nestling in, taking in the surroundings, taking in the punters and the staff and the magnificent vibe here in the Rouge Saloon. I am going to ask everybody who has taken any nebula route so far to give me another will save, please.
Oh, God.
Ormagander, 17.
17 for James.
Well.
Oh, what one? Will save.
20.
Did you say 20?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
I
This could be a good
I
one.
got 24.
24 for
24,
Ellie.
which is a nat 20. I don't know if
Nat
that counts
20.
on saving throw.
You're pretty good, I would wager. Ormagander, how did you get on?
Oh no!
Oh dear. It's a 9. Please, can you give me a D100 roll, please?
Yeah, sure. D100. 21!
21. Let me just check something here against my little chart.
That's what I rolled on my will save.
Yeah, don't rub it in. Ormagander looks at Clara and he starts doing this because he's imagining like how he would have to tailor, like rather than a lead, which was getting a little bit maybe suggestive, thinking more in terms of a kind of like toddler romper reins instead.
I will tell you that you...
So you want to put me in a harness instead of a leash? How is that better?
Stop making everything weird!
We are at the Rouge Saloon. That could happen.
I will tell you that you are definitely starting to feel the effects of this place, this planet, your antics while you've been here. Everything feels very close, not unpleasantly so, but you are starting to sense some distortions to your perception. You notice all of the ornate decor in this room, just slightly starting to shift and crawl a little. You are feeling a little bit slightly disconnected from your body. It's not an unpleasant sensation, and you've certainly seen scarier things in your time, but it is unusual and not something you are familiar with at all. Yes, the route has certainly started to do its work. As you're having this thought, the Vesk returns from wherever they had been before. This time the other two Vesk are with him, and they momentarily pause at the entrance to your little booth area and start somewhat unpleasantly having a little laugh at your expense. Ormagander, they seem to be directing it at you. There is a certain kind of like their air is vaguely threatening, and they are looming over your table, and just it's not for very long, but they pause briefly and like.
Can I blow smoke at them?
You can. As you do, they're like. They sort of smirk a toothy grin and just. Oh, sorry, I've got. What are you
I don't know
scratching
if
at,
that
dog?
helped or hindered.
I've got a scratchy dog somewhere in the studio. Apologies.
Oh.
So wait, this is actually happening, and Ormagander isn't just tripping.
Everyone else is seeing this as well.
I want to do some nose smoke at them. Some non-nebula root smoke, just from straight from my nose, and just.
They look vaguely impressed, but actually, if anything, your insight into the behaviours of various aliens makes you think that their reaction sees that as just maybe a little bit more emasculation of your friend Ormagander. The fact that you're kind of like rallying around him in this way, but they haven't said anything yet.
She is gonna stand up and kind of square off to them and say, "Is there a problem here, gents?"
No problem. You call yourself a Vesk? Getting your woman
I
to
don't.
stand up for you.
And they start laughing again.
gender into it? Are we in the drapery arc again?
You are not in the cushiony packed worlds now. You are on our turf.
And clearly, it's not been very kind to you.
You need to learn respect for us.
Are you going to let this slide?
Respect is earned.
Sorry,
And you don't have ours.
Ormangander's a bit confused, so he's going to stand up, judge how big these people are, because he's kind of like he's having a moment. He's been distracted by all the beautiful carvings around him, and he's not Ormangander at the moment.
No.
It's a bit like, yeah.
In this moment, you become very aware of, like, normally this challenge to your honor from a fellow Vesk would immediately trigger an instinctual, trained response. You would already be grappling with this person, attempting to rip his lower jawbone from his skull, and yet you cannot bring yourself to will it into action. And in fact, they seem 2 foot taller than your biggest battle partner from Soritos Academy. You are genuinely cowed, and it's such an unfamiliar feeling to you. You are not fully. You are not like. To use conditions talk from the rule book, you're not cowering or frightened, but certainly in a role-playing perspective, you kind of are. And if you've never had this experience, you've never felt you've never been intimidated, certainly by another Vesk, certainly not by this trash talk in a bar. You're a bit shook, actually.
Can I...
Sorry, go on.
Can I use some sort of, like, empathic shit?
Hang on a second, let me just dig out the rule book. Is that page 256? Empathic shit. Yep. Go on.
This could be the start of the bond forging.
Okay.
I want to channel some, like, lucidity into Ormangander's brain so that he can deal with this situation.
Well, thankfully, you are both on Nebula Route, which does enhance empathic connections between usually non-empathic creatures. So actually, this does, to a degree, work. And Ormangander, you do feel the presence of Face, like, having your back, and kind of, you're still pretty fucked, but you kind of, like, momentarily start to gather yourself, and you draw yourself back up to your full height. You feel a little bit of the old Ormangander coming back, albeit briefly. And there's a glint in the leader of these Vesk's eyes as he kind of sees you starting to size up, and he's like,
There you are, Vesk. You will learn to respect Green Street, brothers.
anyone?
Wow.
Was not knowing that Face is channeling anything to Ormangander, just kind of reaches his foot over to the tip of Ormangander's tail and gives it a sharp stamp. Prompt him into action.
That little fight or flight that triggers does kind of rally Ormangander actually a little bit more, and it's kind of like gets the blood rushing a bit again, gets a little bit of adrenaline going, and Ormangander, you do regain a little bit of composure. So I feel like you could probably, if you wanted to, you could probably speak up at this point. I would imagine you're probably steely enough to do that now.
Okay. Did you say there were two of them?
There are three.
Three. How big are they?
Big.
Yeah, okay. But bear in mind that Ormangander is a big vest.
Even like as are they. They're all your size. Yeah, happily.
Right. So Ormangander looks at the leader and goes, "Need your girlfriends to watch your back, eh?"
We are brood brothers. If you are a true Vesk, you would understand.
I don't need brothers to take on three people as weak as you.
Ha! Yes.
And they start rolling in a kind of slinking into almost a battle posture. It's something you would recognise. However, at this point,
like Final Fantasy style.
Yeah, you know when you're playing like an old like beat 'em up and you just don't move the controls and they just kind of.
And they're just kind of yeah.
Yeah, they're doing that. However, at this point, they kind of pause for a second, and you see their eyes dart to another part of the room, and entering from another set of doors in the other in the room, you can't help but follow their gaze to see what it is that's distracted them. And you are greeted by the sight of 3 female aliens. Well, actually, I'll tell a lie. There is a human, a Lashunta, and another half-elf in this instance. They all 3 are incredibly tall. There are 2 who are sort of more scantily clad, all incredibly graceful, incredibly well-dressed. The human and the half-elf flank the Lashunta. The Lashunta in the centre has... in fact, I can probably pull up a picture briefly. Let's do this now. 2 seconds, folks. Bear with me. Can I do this? Did I download it? I'm pretty sure I bloody well did. They very quickly, albeit effortlessly, gracefully, cross the room, and are alongside you in no time at all. The tall Lashunta in the centre has deep auburn hair, translucent aquamarine skin that appears to glitter in the low light of the room, and she is flat. She's wearing a long flowing robe dress, impressive bracelets and tall lace-up boots, and her 2 companions stand either side of her, and as soon as she is within range, you see the battle posture of the Vesk soften immediately, and the lead Vesk goes,
Miss Veran.
And at this point, I'd like to introduce our very special guest this evening. I was trying to think, who could I get to play the powerful, beautiful, smart, authoritative, independent owner of the Rouge Saloon. And there was only really one option, and that was, of course, in her secret lab debut, the wonderful, beautiful Mrs. Fox. Oh, and I've turned the camera off. Fuck. What a great reveal.
Full
we
on
maybe
bisexual panic.
Here we
No,
go.
but, yeah.
There we
So
go.
I was just because I'm like in the same space.
We are
Bisexual
in.
Panic should be our band name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Bisexual Panic and the Drakeryarchy.
I mean, I do have a podcast called Bisexual Disasters, so
Aren't we all?
This is not
I'm just
looking
dealing
fine.
So yes, well, join me in welcoming
Damn.
Mrs. Fox to the
Damn.
stream for the very first time, maybe the last.
Please, I hope not.
So yes, as Miss Veran makes her way across the
Panic
room,
over your wife, I hope that's okay.
as she appears, yes, the Vesk start to back down, and yes.
Hello. I hope you've been given a warm welcome.
We were just welcoming the off-worlders, Miss Veran.
Good. You wouldn't want to be in trouble again, of course.
We are, of course, grateful to be here in your presence. Please, we will return to our booth.
And they shuffle back off. Still upright, but you get the distinct impression that Miss Veran is not someone to be messed with.
And what brings you here?
Everybody's just stunned silence.
We
Oh my
came
god,
to-
there's still.
We came to visit
fucking, like-
one of our friends' children.
Oh, here? Are they working here? Visiting?
Last we heard, they were working here. I don't recall what they were working as or their name.
Oh,
A Yosoki member of the team of Clan Kip.
Yes, you definitely know. You would remember Clem.
sorry, I think I missed something. Yes, I've been here for quite some time, so I do, of course, remember Clem. Though I am surprised he's sending people here. I remember him very fondly, but I'm sure there may be others who perhaps have different memories. I'm afraid I don't know any of his relatives.
He did have a sister who worked here for a while under a slightly different name.
Thank you.
Sorry, yes, no, I'll do, I'll be one of your what do we say? I'm going to be the human, your human
Oh,
host.
lovely.
Okay. Yes.
Great.
Helper.
Yes, I'm a helper.
Major Domo.
Yes, I am. What do we say? They're called. Help me
He's
out.
a Hetaira.
Ah, yes, yes, that's me. I'm very grateful.
What a wonderful establishment you have here. Would you care to join us?
Of course, I do have a lot of guests at the moment. I am happy to spend as much time as needed to make you feel comfortable here, and you are able to enjoy everything that we have to offer here. I mean, I always say, when in Rouge, so do please enjoy all of the facilities. But I should probably check on some of the other guests as well.
Perhaps you could
Everything.
arrange for us to have a tour of the facility.
Certainly. My Hetaira here will show you around.
Certainly, ma'am.
Thank you.
My name is Ishino, and I would be most glad to give you a tour. Where would you like to start?
Oh, I can start at the top and work my way down.
I was just about to say this shyness would never do, but I see we're breaking the ice. Well, if you'll follow me, please.
Face has clearly been zoned out this whole time. Just sort of snaps back into reality as people start moving. I'm like, oh, things are happening. Okay.
Yes, the Ishinu steps back and allows you to filter out of the booth. You notice just as you are starting to leave this room, Ms. Viran just shooting another look at the Vesk that says in no uncertain terms, "We'll have no trouble." It seems to be the message seems to be received. I'm going to just allow you to. I'll tune you out for a second, and we will stop back in with you shortly, Miss Varan, if that's all right.
No problem. I hope you saw me giving my look to the
I
vest.
did see you giving you. Yeah. You need to shoot one at the camera so everyone at home can be as scared as I am. We will check back in with Mrs. Fox in a moment. Okay, so tour then briefly. Right. So you guys, welcome in, Uber. How you doing? Okay, so she leads you up the large twisted staircase and gives you the brief tour. You realise that the Rouge Saloon is broken up into several areas. On the upper floors are the rooms.
Ishini goes, we have companions of all persuasions to provide you companionship and comfort in whatever form you may wish. Further downstairs, we have the club area. And as you walk past the entrance doors of the club, like briefly some guests leave, the doors open, and you like assaulted by some pretty heavy duty beats. There's kind of laser stuff going on in there. It looks like a fairly banging party in the club. She guides you through the rest of the facility and points out we have a floor dedicated entirely to games of chance if you fancy trying your luck with our courteous and professional house dealers. And of course, you've already visited one of our nebula lounges. We have several spread across the building. Please, if the first room's atmosphere was not to your liking, we have several more. She also points out the myriad of bars serving every kind of drink you could possibly imagine. Certainly, you don't spend too much time upstairs because that is more sort of reserved for, if you decide to take a companion, take a room. The Ashino is the epitome of discretion, as she assures you, and it would be somewhat uncouth to give you a detailed tour of the upstairs areas, but she does show you one or two of the rooms, which are beautifully appointed, clean and welcoming, but in a variety of styles and atmospheres.
I would like to be pointed to the nearest sort of hard techno room. And I would like to request some nebula root for my pipe to be brought to me.
Of course, Mr.
Face.
Mr. Face, of course,
Yes.
I will have someone sent over to you immediately. Do you have a particular brand of nebula root, breed of nebula root you prefer, or would you like me to bring you a selection, or perhaps suggest something from the house?
Yeah, give me something, a bit more energetic, a bit more. Yeah, let's go.
Of course. She gestures over a nebula root vendor who opens up almost like a series of cigar boxes, and having relayed this information to the vendor, they put together a bespoke blend designed specifically to invigorate. She explains that this is a blend focused largely on the southern polar regions of the Tandus. We find that the strains from this particular region provide more vigour, more energy to our guests, something which we find to be in great demand. And she just delicately packs your pipe for you with her long, slender fingers.
Thank you.
And then, out of nowhere, a female dragonkin appears. Very small wings, very delicate little wings. Appears in kind of like a beaded pattern dress, but it's just beads. And she just kind of appears on your arm, and mentions that she would love to see you dancing to some hard beat. She compliments you on your magnificent wings and how she would love to see them on the dance floor.
Oh, thank you. Oh, honestly, you got to see my moves. They're great. I throw so many shapes.
As you demonstrate a quick shape, she just reaches up and grabs your bicep and goes, "Oh," and then just produces a drink seemingly out of nowhere. And she goes, when she just passes you on, she takes one for herself, and she just cheers as you.
Nice. Yeah, I lead the way.
And she just doesn't say a word. She just takes you by the claw and just leads you off
into
the
guys. I sort of like do a little backwards, like Bye.
I love the way
Condom.
every club you just end up being led around by somebody going, oh. Every night out always goes this way.
Ormungandr looks slightly worried, as I am at the point, given that how this partnership bonding between myself and Ace works and how much of this is going to hit me.
Can you give me a quick perception check? And in fact, can you roll that with advantage? 2 rolls, take the highest. Because this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Come in.
Clara's going to focus any excess
15.
empathic talent she has on she for the rest of the night.
15, Jay.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
You, Ormungandr, a little bit shaken by your experience downstairs. You're happy for Face. He looks chuffed.
It is though.
While the others are kind of working out, you can see Blaz already going, did you say gambling floor? And the girls are kind of like, clearly kind of like, what are we going to do? What's our plan? Meanwhile, you, out the corner of your eye, just poking out from behind the corner of one of the corridors leading off deeper into the facility, you just see a little pink Skittermander face poke out from around the corner and just kind of catch your eye and just go. And then disappear around the corner. She and Clara, what are you up to?
Oh,
What are you up to, ladies?
I feel like...
Anywhere you want to head particularly, or you on mission? What are you thinking? Tell us what you're thinking.
What were the options again? My brain and memory
There's
are not good.
there's gambling, there's smoking, there's drinking, there's dancing, there's all the things you would expect, and of course you could go hunting for like mission related stuff, but you can do whatever you like.
I feel like some of us have to be looking for mission stuff.
I think so Clara, I think maybe we should stick together. I was thinking of taking a walk around and just kind of trying to blend in, look at the rooms, check out the people. What do you think?
It's the joint. Yeah, I like
Subtly
it. Mm-hmm.
together. Don't leave me alone here.
I would never.
Thank you.
I'm
we're
focusing
gonna go
all
and...
of my empathic energy on you and not the other members of our crew, because 2 of them are giving way too many horny vibes and the other one keeps asking people about eggs. So I'm definitely not leaving your side.
That's good to know. I'm glad we're in the same place here. Like, she feels so uncomfortable. It's unbelievable.
Clara's not uncomfortable in like... She's kind of used to disappearing into a crowd and just kind of vibing to get information.
Yeah.
It's more of like, she's very emotionally sensitive right now. So she's just like, I'm gonna focus on you and the job and maybe getting a little bit stoned. But apart from that, she doesn't want to get too crazy.
Pretty good. A little bit stoned. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm kind of giving out, on the job, but trying to relax, blend in vibes, and let's do some casing.
Yeah.
Slightly stoned casing.
Slightly stoned casing.
Slightly stoned casing.
Blaz, how about you? Where are you thinking? What are you thinking?
As tempted as I am by the gambling floor,
Uh-huh.
I would like to briefly return to the first level. And, see if I can scope out our Vesk greeters again.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. In that case, we are going to pick up first with Ormungandr. What are you doing?
Okay, so are there any of these people wandering around with drinks?
Oh, always. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll stop them and go, I need to sober up.
They look confused. That's not what anyone is trying to do here. But they are trying to say it's like it's just something to quench your thirst, perhaps.
Something to make me more alert. coffee, something to counteract the effects of the drinks I've already had.
Ah, yes, of course. And they pour you a thick, this is at one of the small bars on one of the mid-levels. They pour you a thick, dark, treacly concoction, topped off with a kind of, sort of like a foamy, almost like an Irish creamy kind of foam on top. A small portion, and they go, perhaps this would satisfy, sir?
Let's hope. So Ormaganda downs that, and then he'll go to where he saw the Skittermander.
Okay, give me, off the back of that, please give me another D100 roll quickly, please.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you would go Fortitude.
No, just,
27.
sorry, what was that?
27.
27. Okay, you are relatively quickly, you do start to feel, a little bit more sort of perked up, like kind of a bit well, kind of energy drinky vibes. Maybe a little bit jittery, but like not so kind of like relaxed and chill. So you at least feel a bit more kind of
focused.
Yeah. And as you head to where you saw the Skittermander, you look down the corridors. You don't see it anywhere. And it splits off in two directions. The corner it was round was on to the right, but beyond that, you don't know sort of where it went. Do you want to just attempt to follow?
Right.
Okay, so you're going to follow the trail. Okay, it takes a little while, but eventually you're starting to move away from the main movement. You're sort of heading sort of around the rooms, upper floors, where it tends to be a bit quieter. People are kind of there for a reason. They're going beelining to the rooms. Too many people loitering around the corridors, and it's not long before you just in the darkened end of the corridor, you make out a small furry pink shape, just sort of like furtively lurking at the end of the corridor.
Okay, Ormaganda will go towards this. Flashbacks. We'll go towards this small, cute animal.
And the Skittermander kind of, as you approach, looks a little bit nervous. He goes, "Are you a soldier?"
Ormaganda looks around. I assume there's nobody else in this corridor.
No, just you guys.
Okay, he kneels down and says, maybe.
Are you a free soldier?
Of course, I'm a Vesk.
You don't mean the same thing. Are you a free soldier?
Ormaganda cocks an eyebrow, somewhat bemused. I don't understand, little Skittermander. All Vesk soldiers are free, apart from their duties. What do you mean?
Duties. You need to come with me. And he just grabs a little finger and just starts leading you off down the corridor. You need to meet my friends.
Ormaganda is wary, but also this is a Skittermander and therefore a subject of the Veskarium, so he follows him.
Okay. You lead through this warren of corridors, and eventually, like as you kind of start to round another corridor, you really feel like you're away from the main thrust of the party now. Really into the sort of not quite into the sort of staff only areas, but it's like it's quiet around here, and then like it kind of like just as it reaches, kind of like everyone feels like a last turn, kind of looks back at you and goes, "Free," and then turns around the corner and leads you around the corner, and you see three more, like as if they've been caught, like it's just almost in the light of the coming around the corner. They kind of go, they sort of whirl. They're like, "You brought him." And one of the three says to the little one that's holding your claw, "You brought him." "Yes, he says he's free." What are you doing?
Okay, so there's 4 Skittermanders.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll kneel down so I'm obviously as close to them as I can be, and I'll say, Tell me, little brothers, what ails you?
It is not what ails us. It's what ails you. And they all start stroking you. They look really concerned for you. And they just start stroking you. And you know what? With the nebula root, it feels kind of nice. It's quite nice. You're feeling a bit more tactile than you normally would.
Ormaganda feels even more confused. Says, explain.
It's okay, Big Fisk brother. Come with us. And they two of them just grab like a finger each on each hand, and they just start leading you down the corridors again. They're like, come with us, Free Fisk. And they start weaving their way back through the hotel.
I'm just tripping right now, but I'm going.
Yeah.
And you want to put me on a leash?
We're going to pick back up with Ormaganda in a moment, but right now we're going to cut over to Face, and we're going to sort of smash cut to Face on the dance floor. Face, describe to me you're in like one of the banging club rooms. It's like a Vegas casino like residency where it's just like fucking lasers and big production value.
So on my home world of practice, dancing is a bit more it's a little bit more tribal than usual, but it mostly consists of different poses. So basically it's just like a dance, but it's just like explosive strong poses, and then like making your wings look all fucking majestic and cool. Nice. So obviously there's a wide berth.
Yeah, you need to create a space.
Just fucking just throw some shake.
Of all the players to be doing this, the VTuber. Cool. And your companion is absolutely like, she's going with it, and she's like kind of, what is it called? Is it the Brazilian dance style? It's like kind of almost like a martial art and dance where they're kind of, what's that?
Capoeira.
Thank you. So basically, as you're doing your wing shape, she's kind of like capoeiring under your wings, and kind of like she's totally in your groove, like you're like performing the right double act.
Dragonkin are like, this is sort of like a natural thing for them. They know the dances.
It's attracting quite a crowd. Like, you know, you're absolutely tearing it up in there, and she's she's shooting you some looks. Like the chemistry is real, yeah, you know.
Yeah, but I am also a responsible captain and friend. And
are you?
Yes, because while I'm doing this, I'm also trying to focus on sort of strengthening my emotional bonds, albeit not actually in the presence of them. I'm sort of like trying to focus on how I can be better for the team, especially sort of like focusing on obviously the partner bond with Ormaganda, trying to just like, this is how we get in the zone, you know. We do a good dance.
Mm-hmm.
We get sort of in the zone, and then everything sort of starts to click in the head.
Yeah. You are reaching out with your kind of partner bond empathy like vibes. The nebula root is severely enhancing it. The thing is, it's also making it a little bit more unpredictable, and Ormaganda currently is out of range. So you're kind of casting out with these empathetic bond energies, and a lot of them seem to be hitting your companion. And at that point, we're going to cut over to the girls. She and Clara. You trying to get away from the hubbub. You're looking for a little bit more of a chilled time. You sort of explore perhaps some of the parts of the Rouge Saloon that haven't yet been discovered here. But everywhere you turn, you're being offered anything you could possibly like. And in this case, it's invariably various types of drinks. Clearly, like, word has got out amongst the servers. You don't know how they're so goddamn efficient. But Clara, they're like bombarding you with those little kind of little sweet shooters, you know, like a little bit syrupy, just like a little, and they're going down a tree, and they even after the first one, you were a little bit, man, like it's just making my fur a bit sticky. The next one appears with these like dainty little straws,
Oh.
You didn't even really have to say anything. All you had to do was gesture, and like they're just like, we've got your back, right? And they're coming in a wave. Just any time you run out, they're just like another.
Do they have any like of the root vape stuff that can go in Clara's vape?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because she still wants to be she wants to be a little bit stoned.
Yeah. So you're vibing out, you're like vaping away. How are you feeling? Like, basically, you've gotten away. There's no sort of threat situation, but I know that can stress you out sometimes. Like, what are you looking for? Like, how are you taken in the room right now, as you're exploring this place?
So, basically, this is like completely new to she, and she's kind of a bit blown away by like, what are these people doing? It's like drinking and dancing and enjoying themselves. It's like completely alien because she's usually all about murder and like sneaking and yeah. But she is looking out for any groups of Isoki. So she's kind of aware that the Vesk were around us before, and they mentioned Green Street. So she's kind of curious as to whether this is a Green Street establishment. So she's looking for Isoki.
Well, there are plenty of Isoki about. In fact, it's not long before actually you guys are approached in small talk by a small Isoki, and he kind of comes up to you. He's kind of skittish, like a little bit shifty but friendly. You're not quite sure whether you're being, chatted up or whether he's about to try and sell you something. It's like he's got like a bit of vibe, but it seems harmless enough. And he's like,
you ladies, what are you doing tonight? Are you gambling? Are you drinking?
Actually, we're just enjoying the vibe of some really good Nebula root.
Rooty vibes.
What was your Rooty? The voice is killing me, man. So yeah, what Nebula root would you recommend?
It's all so good here. I'm here all the time. My name's Fix, by the way. And you? Let me offer you a paw.
he holds up a paw to shake your hand.
She kind of like holds out her hand and shakes his paw. My name's She.
It's very nice to meet you, Miss She. And you?
Sure.
Clara just kind of takes his paw with like her thumb and index finger and shakes it.
Oh, dainty.
Clara.
So nice to meet you too, Miss Clara. So, where are you going? Let me get you a drink. Oh, sorry, we're rooty. Do you want some of my root? I have friends that grow it out in the tundras. They grow very, very good root. That's why they call me Fix. I used to fix things. Now I fix you up. You'd like to try?
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Here you
Absolutely.
He just hands you over his little Isoki vape to have a try out.
Okay, so she's gonna give it a go.
Presumably the same, Clara. Give a little testarina.
Yeah.
It's good.
We'll have a little puff.
It's good.
It's good
Maybe
stuff.
a little less refined than what you've had from the Rouge Saloon, but it's like it has that kind of organic, fresh from the farm vibe. No over processing. It's it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It has that sort of very fresh earthiness to it.
You like?
Just,
You like Fixer's root?
yeah, it's really good. Where did you get it from? It's amazing.
Well,
We have friends that we might need to fix up also.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't sell here. I get in trouble. They watching. But I can fix you up. I have friends. they grow out on the Tanders. They are over in over in Kayawan. Yeah, Kayawan.
Awesome. We should arrange to meet outside the club, and maybe we could get some more off you for our friends later.
I can get your numbers. You give me your numbers.
Have you just been chatted up by an Ahsoka, guys?
I'm getting information.
Stay in your room. Follow your
Sorry,
Skittermanders.
I got
Things weird,
led
Sam.
away
We
by
talked about this.
fucking-
Seeing she's hesitation, Clara's gonna like give him hers instead.
Thank you, Miss Gale.
Oh, sorry.
Miss Clara.
He didn't know that was just me slipping. That wasn't like a kind of aha. What does he know?
So creepy.
yeah. No. He looked at he's like, and it's like Clara goes, oh, this guy goes, and that's why.
Nice recovery.
Now, me a gentleman, me not abuse. When should I call you?
She?
I think maybe tomorrow. It'd be good to maybe help with the hangover.
Hangover? Oh, you having big night?
We've had a rough few months.
We need to let go and party, and we should probably do that by moving to another floor. So it was really nice to meet you.
I would like to pop to go clean this sticky stuff out of my fur before we move on to another floor. Would you like to
I'm
join
gonna go
me?
help her. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. So it was really nice to meet you, Mr. Fix.
Don't forget if you're having a big night, don't forget about Fix. I'll be here all night.
We really won't forget you. That's no.
If you don't
No
want to
amount
risk,
of fruit.
if you don't want to risk us missing each other, we could spend it together.
Perhaps not in the bathroom.
Not
She
right
just
now.
kinda, like, takes She's hand and just walks up towards the bathroom.
Yep.
Don't forget about Fix.
While I do actually want to clean the sticky stuff out of my fur, I also want to comms Clem while we're in there.
Damn it! Because as you rounded the corner, I was going to have your PCU go off, and it like, damn it! You stole my moment.
I'm so sorry.
It was going to be an
We're
Insta
on the
ring,
same wavelength.
and you were going to be like, oh no! It's like,
Oh my god.
It took a long time to
No,
answer
I
there,
was
Miss
trying-
Gale. What's going on?
I'm so sorry to ruin your moment, Jay.
it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so you check in with Clem.
Well, hey there,
Yeah.
Clara. How's it going out there? Hope you're not getting into too much trouble.
Well, I can't speak for the boys. They've all kind of wandered off inside the saloon. But I was wondering if you could remind me what your child's name is that works here.
Well, I sure wish you'd given me a little bit of warning about asking me that question.
Sorry, Jay.
I'm old, you know. Memory ain't so good. When you have 12 kids, you'll see what I mean. Gets a bit complex
so
to
sorry,
hold it
Clem.
all together. I
Every
mean, I
time
love
I
him
try and
dearly,
remember, I
but
keep thinking of Whiskers.
I mean, Whiskers is real cool. Like, she'll stick in the memory. Some of them are a bit more forgettable, you know.
Yeah.
Don't tell him I said that.
Harsh.
God damn it! You'll go so far back in my notes as well.
I'm so sorry.
Isn't it like episode 5 or something?
Something like
It's
that.
around there.
yeah.
I'm in the episode 5 notes right now, and I swear to God, I can't find the name of my own kids. It's kind of stressful to be doing this stuff live on stream. I can't lie. It's the sort of shit I should know, isn't it? Really.
Anticipation.
I mean, right now, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna retcon her name to Debbie. Okay, she's gonna be Debbie right now.
Perfect. Okay. Debbie, thank you.
It might
And
come back
do
to
you
me. I
know-
hang in there, but
Do you know if there's any like stage name she would go by? Because we mentioned the name Kib, but even the owner just didn't seem to know anyone who works here by that name.
oh well, she only worked there for a while. Wasn't exactly a stable line of work back then.
She doesn't work.
It was pretty sketchy, you
anymore?
know. We weren't too keen on her working there,
Oh.
really. I mean,
I thought she still
was a re-
works there.
I mean, hey, you've heard me tell you about that place. It's a real dump.
I feel like I might have been drunk when you were telling us that story.
Well, hey, look, I spent a bunch of my misspent youth there, but you know, I can't deny it. It's a dive. How you getting on? Still as rough around the edges as it used to be?
Well, we had some sassy Vesk to deal with. Face got dragged away to the dance floor. I'm not really sure where Blaz and Ormungand potted off to, but I'm with She. We're, this route's real nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'll get you. Well, you just take care of yourselves, and, you watch it in there. Yeah, when I look back on it, it was kind of gross. I'm kind of impressed you're, sticking it out.
Any tips for, like, surviving the night here?
Just go with emotion. Don't fight the tide, I'd say. We're here when you need us.
Okay. I think we can handle that. Right, She? Right?
She just gives kind of a cautious thumbs up.
Is old sketchy Steve still running the place?
No. Some really, really beautiful woman named... I've already forgotten the name. I'm so sorry.
Shunter named
Mrs. Jayven Fox.
Miss Varan.
Keisha Varan.
Keisha Varan.
Did you say Keisha's running the place now?
Yeah, she said that she remembers you from a while back. Is that good?
Well, yeah, she used to work as a host there. She was one of the best ones there, but well, she's sure done well for herself if she's taken the place over. Well, that's great. Good for her. She was always a smart one, that one. Not
Is
bad
she,
looking either.
Oh, I agree. Is she a good person?
Well, I mean, we didn't really get to know each other on that basis. I was partying at the time. She always looked after me, and she was always kind. It's kind of her job, though. I can't really say, but I never had any trouble with her. Certainly wouldn't mess with her, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got that vibe.
Yeah, she's a capable lady.
Mm-hmm. Okay, bye, Clem. Thanks
See you
for the
later.
help.
No worries.
At this point, we are going to. In fact, we're going to very quickly. At this point, as you finish your conversation with Clem and emerge from the bathrooms, you are met by our very, very special guest, Mrs. Fox, Keish Varan, making her way down the hall. Hello, Ms. Varan. Welcome back.
Hello.
Oh, I need to turn your mic back on.
Yeah, I can't see myself either, so I just have to trust that everyone else can.
Yes, you're back. You're back online.
Yeah,
You're live
you're
on
good.
Twitch.
You're all good.
Yes, she is with your host from before, Ashino, I believe it was. Was your yes. So Ashino is with Ms. Varan, and they are doing the what appears to be doing the rounds. As Ashino spots you emerging from the bathroom, she goes, ladies, I trust you're having a pleasant evening.
We are. Thank you. Interesting establishment you have here.
Thank you. You seem to have lost some of your party. She and Clara, isn't it? Are you finding everything to your taste, or can I offer you something else?
Clara just chokes on her vape.
Well, Miss Fran, what would you recommend?
Well, for my own entertainment, I have a gallery. I'm quite fond of archery, and I feel like that might be something we share. Would you like to come and take a look?
I think that would be great. Yeah, that sounds good. Clara?
Absolutely.
We appreciate that the Rouge Saloon is not to all tastes, but we pride ourselves on finding something of entertainment value for every guest that graces us with their presence.
We're just fascinated, and we genuinely just love to know more.
So, Shino and Miss Varan lead you upstairs to the staff and private officers area of the Rouge Saloon. As you step into this long gallery, some of the frippery of downstairs sort of dies off a little bit. It becomes lighter, brighter, and some of the kind of slightly gaudiness of downstairs, it's still decadent, but it just takes a step down. It's quieter up here, and there are some well-used targets down at the end of a long room, flanked with pretty impressive pieces of art. And over at the side of the room, there are some collector's bows, antique bows, there for your use.
These are beautiful. It's a magnificent collection, genuinely. Like, she's obviously obsessed with weapons, so this is completely her thing. How did you manage to amass such an amazing collection?
As I always say, there's something for everyone here at the Rouge Saloon, and not everybody pays with credits. Sometimes we are able to acquire things that other people might struggle to. Do you shoot? Would you like to have a go yourself?
I would love that. Absolutely. She kind of eyes up the different bows. Which one would you recommend?
For somebody with your height, and you've clearly got a good eye, I would recommend this one.
And she presents a very elegantly crafted bow. Your appreciation for weapons, you can see that it's, truly a collector's item. Very well looked after. And yes, Ishino hands you a quiver of antique arrows. And on handing it to you, turns to Clara and goes, "Do you ever shoot, Miss Gale?"
I'm not very good at shooting anything, so if there's something that seems not as valuable that I could practice with, I would love to give it a go.
There is no need to be so uncertain of yourself here. Come, let me show
you haven't
let me
seen
show
me
you.
try and shoot a regular gun.
She gets one of the antique bows and she just places it in your hand. She just stands behind you and just like she's like, you mustn't be so tense. You must relax
Oh my
for archery.
God.
And she's like, yeah, she's.
Clara's tail's just like
There's something for everyone at the Rouge Saloon.
she's so uncomfortably horny right now. You have no idea. She's stoned and now she's like having a bisexual panic.
Is it like the scene?
He came out here to like stay away from like that. Oh my god!
That's right, chap. My sadism knows no bounds. At this tense moment, we're going to leave the ladies to their archery practice, and cut back to.
You're such a tease.
I got to keep it moving here, you know. So yes,
Draw a curtain across the scene.
Yes. Who knows what happened in the
Specifically
archery
said I wanted
room?
to stay with she to avoid the overwhelming horniness, and now you do this. You're an evil man.
You are a bad person.
I'm fun, and you know it. Right.
You are.
You thought there'd be nothing for you here, but there is. Right, we're going to cut back over to...
Surprise, it's queer women with bows.
It's Pride Week.
It's always queer women with bows.
It's Pride. Come on, let's go. You know, I can do classy. Right, we're going to... but just a spoiler, we're going to cut back to Blaz. What are you up to, Blaz? You're downstairs in the main room. The first room you stepped into.
I am.
So he's not okay.
Having a minute. I am looking for our self-professed Green Street Vesk guys. Just want to. Are they still here? Are they?
They are back in their booth, drinking heavily.
Excellent. Blaz is going to ruffle his hair slightly. And affect a more drunken demeanor than he's actually experiencing, and wander in a zigzag fashion towards the Green Street Vesk.
Okay.
Put his drink down on their booth table and say, "As gentlemen, let's join you for a moment to discuss business."
Guys, I feel this is the end of Blaz.
Business. They look entertained. What is your proposal, human?
It's businessman. Business, you do business, we all do business. And he kind of pats the Vesk nearest him on the shoulder.
Okay.
Unhand me, puny human. If you have business, bring it to Green Street. Otherwise, be gone with you.
Okay. No worries, buddy. And he steps away, just giving the lapels of the Vesk a little bit of a straighten. And I would like, at this point, to attempt to slip one of the tabs that I have in my possession into a pocket.
Give me an absolutely clutch sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
My head is about to explode.
Okay, so that's a 15.
No modifiers.
That's with the modifiers.
Give me a second.
Not fantastic, but not terrible.
I mean, it's quite bad. As you go to do it, these guys, like, are kind of running some of the streets here in the city. They're not naive. And when somebody starts handling them, they're on alert. And they're like,
Get your monkey paws off me, human.
and as they like, they're like, they like,
What is this?
You've found my little present.
they just,
That's-
they take it and just go,
Nebutabs, where'd you get these? You did not get these from us.
This is all the business, boys. The business.
they grab you by
Oh.
the lapels, pull you in, and just give you a swift.
Explain, human.
Struggling to maintain his drunken composure. Well, give me a minute.
No minutes, explain.
Is this, and Blaz is looking around, making the point that we might not be as private here as we would want to be. Is this really the right place to discuss such sensitive matters?
He just flips through 180 and just shoves you down into their little booth, and behind him the two guys go, and you just feel see the curtains go.
Private enough for you, monkey boy.
Well, nice to know that we won't be disturbed. And Blaz drops the act of being drunk at this point.
There you are. Talk your business. Where did you find these tabs?
He's still crunching it, like getting a taste of it.
I happen to know where there are containers full of those tabs. I found them. Nobody else knows where they are, or at least knows where they are as around to claim them right now. I don't have the resources to move them myself. You guys most definitely do. All I'm looking to do is sell some information and let you get on with the business that you obviously do so well.
No one finds containers of Nebutabs. You need facilities, technology. The Federales here would blow you away. You are clearly an amateur. You have no lab. We do not produce these on Marianus. This is an off-worlder business. Where'd you find these containers?
I agree entirely. I'm definitely an amateur. I didn't produce these. I just happen to know where they are. And it looks to me like they've been hidden. I don't know who hid them there. I don't know when they're going to be picked up. So, if you want the information, we should probably arrange something quickly, and I'll let you skedaddle.
He looks you straight in your eyes. Still
glare back at him.
crunching the remainder of his Nebutab.
With my flat affect lenses.
You have information about where to find containers of these.
Yes.
Then I think you are right. We do need to have a conversation.
And out of his pocket comes a concealed weapon, and you just feel it like into your side. He's like,
Come, human. We have a conversation.
and he starts like guiding you, like, and you can feel it sharp in your kidney. You can't see what it is, but you are like flanked on all sides, one behind, two either side, close as fuck, and they are guiding you out, not past the front doors. They start to steer towards what appears to be an emergency exit.
and I interrupt this as they're trying to maneuver me out of a booth. And without physically resisting, make them aware of the fact that I intend to go nowhere with you. If you want to make a scene right here, that's fine. We can go that way. And lets a little arc of electricity spark between a couple of fingers. I'm not leaving with you, but I'll sell you the information right here, right now.
He just leans into your ear over your shoulder, and you feel the blade tightening up into your skin. It's through your clothing now, and you can feel it just starting to press, drawing a small amount of blood. He's like,
We do not buy amateurs' information on our own turf. Play your tricks, little man. You won't make it out of here alive. You're coming with us, and it is in your interest to do it quietly.
and you start to become pushed again towards the exit.
I am going nowhere with you. And reverting to drunken, bawly Blaz, he goes, what are you doing? Get off of me! And starts flailing.
As you do this, you feel your feet lifting off the ground, and you're like, all of a sudden the speed picks up, and you're being like whisked, and you are flailing, but the two kind of lieutenant vests are kind of like just nodding to like some, a couple of like low end members of staff, people are kind of like, what's going on? And they're sort of gesturing in the local patois. You don't know what they're saying, but you get the impression it's kind of like, this guy, and they're just like bundling out, like they're treating it as if you're embarrassing them and yourself, and they're just like, well, we've got him. That's you kind of get enough from the body language that's what's going on, and you are just being, your feet are just doing this over the ground. You're flailing, but like they are three massive guys, and they have got you on all sides. You're about
not giving me much option here, GM.
I'm always, hey, look, I'm always. You react how you react. We live with the consequences. This. Okay? So yeah, you are whisked, and before long, you're at a set of kind of double doors. They're kind of kicked open. There's a vague like beep 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 beep. Like you're not supposed to open that door. But out they whisk you into the Marianus night down a dark alleyway out the back of the Rouge Saloon. And that's where we're going to cut over to someone else. But go ahead, Faith.
For some reason, I've got in my head just an image of us, like, on our way to rescue Blaz, and we just find him on, you know that chair in James Bond that had no bottom? And he's just like naked on one of those, and we just walk into the room, and
we might be about to find out how sadistic I truly am.
Oh my god!
I could have gone and gambled. What the fuck?
Yeah,
you could have been having lesbian archery moments.
As we cut to.
Do I pick any of this up on my like empathic quest to be closer to my teammates?
Not over that techno. It's just you're like.
Oh god.
The hard techno.
What you do detect though is you sense your bond with Ormungandr. You've both had a lot of Nebula Root by this point, and you start to feel it kind of returning a little bit. You're having a great time with this Dragon King girl, and you're still throwing shapes, but you kind of like, oh, Ormungandr. And you kind of start to detect it, and Ormungandr. At this point, you can hear you're close to the club, and you're still you're in one of the back corridors towards the restrooms that enters out onto the club balcony. You don't know this yet. Because at the moment you're still being led by these 4 Skittermanters. And they keep talking about,
Are you free, Vesk? You must be free.
and they're like stroking you and they're pulling you down the corridor. And then they're like, eventually you emerge through the doors. Face hasn't seen you yet. You haven't seen Face yet, but you feel him. You sense him in the room. And they're like, the Skittermanders just like take you to the balcony. And they're like,
There, soldier. Go to him. Go to him.
and at this point, Face, you look up to the balcony and you see your friend Ormagander standing on the railing of the balcony. You can't quite make out what he says. You think you hear the words, "I'm an emerald god." And then he just swan dives off the balcony, mosh pit style, down onto the dance floor. Some people get bruised. I mean, he takes a bit of a hit, to be fair, but like kind of gets up
God.
fairly quickly. And your Face, you're just like, it breaks you out your moves. You're just like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm going to allow you to roleplay what happens next.
Okay, so I see this happen, and I see Ormagander just like get up and dust himself off after just like landing on a bunch of people on the dance floor.
It kind of got a mixture of like shocked gasps and cheers.
Okay, well,
The beats are still hammering as well.
I'm first because I know I'm going to assume this Dragonkin woman that I'm with works here.
You haven't really talked yet.
Yeah, no. Well, I've been two in the zone, but
Two in the zone, yeah.
I'm gonna tap her. I'm gonna be like, let's go help these people that my friend just squashed, and we'll go see why he's just jumped off the balcony, because that is quite concerning. But it looks like he's still having a good time, so it might be okay.
Your friend? Okay. And she follows you. She's like kind of holding your hand. She looks like a little bit like she's worried, like she's holding your forearm.
Yeah, and I just lead her over. I'm like, Ormagander, what? I sort of wave because it's loud in there, right? So I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm just sort of waving, and I start like helping the people up, you know, because they're I don't know how big they are, but I could probably just sort of lift them up and like, just dust them off, you know, and be like, you all right? Yeah.
Ormagander is confused, very confused. He looks up at the balcony. Can he see any of these Skittermander, or have they just?
Yeah, you know, you can see the Skittermander. Yeah, they're looking like they're like.
Be free.
Ormagander goes. And did they point at Face when they were saying "Go be free"? Or
They were
did
telling you to go
crowd?
to go to Face. They were telling you to go to Face.
Okay.
That's why you felt. That's why you were like, the quickest way to Face is to Emerald God this thing.
So Ormagander leans into Face. He notices the small dragon goes, "Hi, excuse me." Leans into Face and goes, "Apparently, I'm an Emerald God, and the 6 over there 4 pink Skittermander up on the balcony told me I needed to jump onto the dance floor and get to you to be free. And that's all I've got."
I like in my sort of, I'm pretty fucked by now, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're gone.
So
And you're a bit annoyed with
sort of-
Ormagander for spoiling your buzzer, but you're also concerned about it.
I sort of do that thing, you know when people are like, you're at an after party and everyone's really like
Far gone.
mangled.
Yeah.
and they sort of just, you're talking to them, and they sort of look at you, and they take in what you say, but they don't really like take it in.
Yeah.
And then, so I look at him, and he says all this, and I'm like, I know exactly what you need. Come with me. And I start to like teach him the dragon dance.
Nice.
And like, just follow my lead. And yeah.
You are
Ormaganda
overwhelmed
following the advice.
by this feeling.
That's it.
He's putting. Oh my god, you're getting waves of empathetic partner bond off face right now, and you feel free in a weird way. As you start to dance, you know, like you feel free in a way perhaps you haven't felt
moves
before.
Are coming in through the empathicness. The moves are like, I don't even need to show you the moves. They're just coming in through like feeling.
And it almost reminds you of the feeling of grappling, but with none of the violence. It's like art, you know, but it's the same kind of moves. It's second nature to you. It's muscle memory as you're doing it.
It's basically the club scenes from John Wick for me, but without breaking anybody's neck.
Yeah, just like doing some badass power poses and moves. Yeah, throwing some shapes.
You can't help. While you guys are, you know, like completely in this moment, like this synergetic moment on the dance floor. It's something, you know, and your connection to each other has never ever been stronger, and it's just like, you know, you're one step ahead of each other's movements, and it's like I say, it's, you know, it's similar to how you had with your dance partner Face, but there's something special about this. And as the dance winds to a close, you Face, you just kind of glance up at the balcony from which you dived. Yeah, there's no fucking skip manders up there. And that's where we're going to wrap this evening's episode.
Oh man.
One kidnapping, finally not Clara. One drug-induced balcony dive.
I would just
And
like to
some
say, no one led me astray.
unbelievable sexual tension. It's just like,
I did not follow
That's a
anyone
really good
into any
summary.
sketchy areas. But
you sketchiest of all the areas.
Clara.
I was gonna say
Clara
I think we
very
yeah.
obvious
Oh, hang on.
situation.
I need to bring Ms. Varan back into the mix here because she's
Yeah,
casting all
Hell
sorts
yeah.
of opinions.
absolutely.
Hello, Ms. Varan.
Clara's having a great time. She's not kidnapped.
Realize,
She's not
like,
in danger.
I'm sorry, but you know, my areas are not sketchy. We have known each other for long enough.
There you go, folks. You thought it was awkward before.
I feel like this Vesk situation needs to be caught on camera or something, right? They can't, like, we can't just. Blaz might die here.
No, he won't. He'll be fine. I made enough of a scene on the way out that someone will have seen me being dragged off by some Green Street Vesk. You'll work it out. Maybe after some sort of sapphic scene that, you know, has to happen next week. Who knows?
Yeah, they're
possibly
getting their
that
bromance
first.
on. We're getting our queer archery girls energy on, and Blaz is just getting the shit kicked out of him by some vets.
We can just start our own thing.
You
if
know what?
like.
Okay.
Lesbian spin-off Starfinder stream. Let us know in the Discord if that's what you want to see.
DMing.
Of course.
Every
Right.
Don't
Tuesday,
let us know. I can't handle that amount of spam in the Discord.
every Tuesday you just do the lesbian Starfinder spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Can you imagine my
lesbian
ratings?
version of
Oh.
Ulysses.
Yes, because CV's like subscribed. Yeah.
I'm really liking this screen setup, by the way. The whole Mrs. Fox reclined on a couch
Yeah,
in the
just in the
middle
middle.
of
Can't
the
see
room.
me
And
as
all
far
of
as,
the-
Chaise lounge.
as far as I
Framed-
can see.
framed
That's
in, like-
you guys.
We had to theme the setup. Come on, it's like it's not every day you get Mrs. Fox in the Secret Lab. This is 2
Absolutely.
years of streaming.
True.
Very kind of you to join us. Thank you.
Possibly the hottest occasion ever as well. Like
I know.
the
so
number of lights
No
in
comment.
here is
Yeah, I was gonna
not good. It's not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, as soon as this stream's finished, I'm getting over there and blowing out dim candles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's-
No, I heard it as I said it. Right, I think I need to run the credits. Oh, and I've got some outro stuff to do, and I've confused myself. Sorry.
I don't think this episode can go on YouTube.
Probably not. It's it's definitely a demonetizer. It's a good thing I'm not monetized, isn't it?
You might need to mark it as 18 plus.
Well, the thumbnail on this one will get you more views than any others.
That's probably true.
That's very true.
Yeah, thumbnail poses.
In fact, what are the thumbnail poses for this week? We need to do thumbnail poses. I'm going to do one with Mrs. Fox and one without. So give us some Mrs. Fox.
Mrs. Fox is perfectly positioned.
Yeah, you're already there. Like you're just. Yeah.
Maybe we all just emulate that.
Okay. I
What are we all emulating?
I'm emulating my bisexual panic. I don't know about you.
I'm going to do a little bit of a cheeky vibe.
Wait, if we were gonna lay down, then I'm gonna do this. Wait.
Wait. I should do a screen.
I like the swooning.
Do a little
Even
heart.
more. I like the swooning more.
Okay, we're going to great. Everybody hold it in 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. We'll do a non Mrs. Fox one. There we go. Same again, I think.
Ali's having none of it. I love it.
To be fair, she was suspect for the whole show. So okay.
I
Thank you, folks.
thoroughly enjoyed the archery. No,
More archery content, yes.
Yes, please.
I can't help my character's paranoia, unfortunately.
Throw more attractive women at me and Ellie. That's what we really want.
Yeah,
I'm getting flashbacks.
We're completely here for it.
I'm getting flashbacks to the Firefly episode. It's like, Malcolm Reynolds, I've been waiting for you to kiss me since you showed me your guns. Or since I showed you my guns. That was the one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, folks.
Oh my god.
Thank you so much to my lovely crew. Go and follow OverlordFace. Go and follow VampZoe. Go and follow The Uncanny Crafter. Big thanks to James and Sam as well. And a huge monster thanks to my lovely dear wife, Mrs. Fox, for coming and playing silly games with us. And hanging out in the secret lab with us. It's been lovely to have you, honey. Thank you for playing along. Sweetie.
You need to come back.
Yes,
Very lucky man.
best special guest ever.
Yeah.
So,
Apart from Chewy, obviously,
Oh,
who's
yeah.
Licking his balls just to celebrate.
just to carry the vibe on.
Just
casually.
There's something for everyone at the Rouge Saloon.
Oh, buddy. Oh, what did we say,
He's so
buddy?
cute.
What did we say?
I still have those pictures in my phone of when he was like sitting on my lap. And every time I scroll past him in my gallery, I just die a little bit of happiness.
He's very cute.
He
He's a
is
very
very
silly
cute.
boy. Right, folks. Yes, if you want to support the channel, Discord and tip links and merch links and all that good stuff are down below, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Twitch. Every little bit helps. And you know what? We've got some really cool merch. I personally am a big fan of the It's Alive t-shirt and the mug. So, maybe get on that. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe if you like this sort of stuff. Who knows where we go next. Twitch folks, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. We're going to have a 2-minute post-game chat and work out who we're going to raid tonight. So thank you for being here. Much love, everybody. That is episode 32. It's a wrap. And we'll see you for more Starfinder here next Monday night. Back in a month. None of my buttons are going to work, so I'm just going to do it manually.
Oh, darling.